Alright, I just woke up from a nap. I still have noticed that my Facebook page has exploded with arguments between gun rights people and gun control people, and I even had a little debate with Brian Resner last night on Facebook. Uh, well, which basically ended with me saying that, well, if I really wanted a gun to go kill people, I'd just put a sharp stick or a knife into the clavicle of a police officer and take his. I wasn't threatening to kill cops. I was simply making the point that crazy people will do whatever it takes to get guns to kill people because they're crazy, and in that regard, they're not going to pay attention to things like authority. They are going to be warded off by the fact that the officer is armed. See, the whole idea of sticking a knife or stick or whatever into somebody's mastoid process, which is what I said, is, well, it requires skill. Crazy people will try it regardless. They might succeed, they might not. And the biggest deterrent for them not to, you know, kill a cop isn't the fact that he's a cop, he's an authority figure, but the fact that he has a gun. Because crazy people understand I can kill you better than they understand you shouldn't do that. In regards to that, here's the thing about it. Since this tragedy happened in Connecticut, yeah, and then the tragedy before that at the mall, and then the Batman nut job, people have been jumping up, gun control, gun control, gun control. Okay, cool. Um, Let me express a little thought here. Okay, every time this happens, people want to jump up and scream for gun control. And then it makes people defend themselves and defend their right to own guns. And this was where the whole little conversation between me and Brian Resner got into it because, he was the one who brought up, stop the Save the Gun campaign. I haven't seen a Save the Gun campaign. I've seen responses to people who were responding to people who were wanting gun control, but I haven't seen people, jumping up saying, "Oh, we need to keep our guns," and you know, um, look, a gun's a tool. It can be misused the same way as anything else. A recent tragedy involving a guy with a bow and arrow shows that any tool can be used to harm people. Um, what's next? Hatchets, machetes. I mean, over there in Rwanda, they don't have any gun control laws, and very few people can afford a gun, even though they're basically about $5 uh, an AK. And you know, millions were slaughtered with machetes and hatchets. That's just, yeah. Look, all in all, it basically comes down to this. You have to be a blood sucking vampire to use the blood and the deaths of these innocent children to try to push some sort of political agenda. I don't care if you are for gun rights or for gun control, if, you think you're saving the world. Let these poor families grieve and stop putting up bullshit about guns and blaming an item or an object for somebody else's insanity. Look, what happened is tragic. Those were human beings who were killed. They are not political puppets. They are not, you know, professional. They sure as hell were not professional soldiers. But I mean, this was not, somebody putting their lives on the line. This was somebody who intentionally came in and engaged uh, unarmed children. And people want to jump up here and start preaching their gospel of guns are bad or guns are good or whatever. Here's the thing about it. And I even pointed this out to Brian Resner. He's just as much of a vampire as the rest of these freaks out here. Let these poor families grieve. Let them have their time to say that they lost their children. Let them deal with it before all you politicians and assholes and vampires, basically, uh, you can, go feed on the corpses later. All you ghouls out there, you can feed on those fucking corpses later. But for now, just let the families of these people who are lost, find some solace. Alright, that's probably the shortest YouTube video I've ever done yet.